Steve, thanks for joining us. We'll start things off with questions. First up is Rich.
Just talk about Hunter a little bit. What are the pro attributes that he possesses at this point? And just from your experience, what are the first things a pro team is going to want to find out about Hunter when he gets there?
Yeah, I mean, pro attributes it's pretty simple. He is a pro. He prepares like a pro. He practices like a pro, and obviously he performs on the field like a pro. Uh, we got a lot of great guys around here, but Hunter, as far as preparing, coming to meetings with questions and knowing the game plan inside and out, allowed him to be able to play, 100 miles an hour with no checkups, no hesitation. So things like that'll make him a pro. You have to pull him back rather than trying to get him going during practice. So for being a pro, he's got all those attributes. And what I would say is probably the first thing that the NFL team, whatever franchise picks him, will find out is he's relentless in being in the path to perfection. He wants to be perfect in everything he does. He wants to be the most dominant blocker out there. He wants to catch most passes, and he doesn't think anyone can cover him. And if they do, or if they beat him on a block, he's going to do everything he can to try and fix that and get it right for the next practice or the next rep. And that's something that they'll see how serious he is. He's obviously a great guy to be around, but when it's business time, it's business time. He's all about his business, and he's trying to be the best he can be, and he's always striving for perfection.
We'll go next to Andy.
Hey, Steve. Jeff's talked a lot about Joey Luchetti coming back from injury. So he's kind of popped on film. What specifically have you seen from Joey? What do you expect from him this fall?
Yeah, I mean, obviously losing Joey last year towards the end of training camp was a big blow to us. He was kind of going to be that second tight end, the starting tight end in 12 personnel as the Y with Hunter as the move guy. So losing him late in the training camp was a big blow to us. Spencer Witter did a great job of filling in for him, but Joey just brings a type of dominance at the line of scrimmage that we had definitely been missing this spring. We got him back maybe whatever it was, maybe 8 practices in the spring, and you can see right away that his dominance and his presence at the line of scrimmage against defensive ends, whether it's one-on-one, a double team block, or even a SIF block with our outside zone game, he's dominant at the point of attack. He's strong, he's physical, he does command a serious presence in the room. So it was just like, you got better because he was healthy when he came back, and also the guys around him got better because they understood the expectations and what it really looks like. It's a lot easier to do something when you see it on film when someone else is doing it. And what Joey was able to do was able to take all the coaching that he's received in the past and that he had last year, and he was able to just really plug and play right away. And then it helped the other guys see what it really looked like. Rather than just going back to tape of Hunter doing it, they saw someone do it on the field.
We'll go next to Dan.
Coach, when I look at tight ends, I kind of see all these guys and they're built, weight-wise the same. But within that, when you look at a guy 6'3" to 6'5", 230 to 250, are there different types of size within that? And do they have different, when you look at their skill sets, lend itself differently to a dual purpose?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Obviously, just comparing the two guys that have, obviously we mentioned Luchetti and Witter. Those guys are relatively the same height and weight. I mean, Luchetti might be a little bit heavier than Spencer, but Spencer is a little bit of a different type of runner. He's a little bit more of a strider, so he's able to cover more ground. Where Luchetti has short, quick burst steps, so he's able to keep his cleats in the ground and be powerful in blocking. Not that Spencer can't be powerful, and not that Joey can't stretch the field on some routes, but obviously their body build and the way that they're able to move, it helps us, be different and be more versatile in the tight end room. So, I mean, they're all around the same height and weight, but they all bring different type of skill sets to it, and then, it's our job to put them in the best position possible, whether it's featuring them more in the passing game or more in the outside zone game rather than in the pass pro and inside zone game. And that's our job, to make sure that they're in the perfect spot for that. But at the same time, we also have to bring up, if Joey's not great in outside zone, but he's great in inside zone, it's my job to get him more reps at outside zone so that when he's in there, we're not just one dimensional too.
We'll go next to Trevor.
Seemed like Phil and Hunter just had a natural connection last year. They didn't know each other for too long, but it just meshed perfectly right away. Just how have you seen Phil kind of adapt to this year's group of tight ends, and just how's that evolving so far?
Yeah, I would say, obviously Phil is a great quarterback, man. He first of all, he takes the time, and I don't mean great just what he does on the football field. He takes the time to get to know these guys. Okay, he does a good job of communicating in the classroom, on the field. He does a good job of trying to get on the same page as whatever route runner is in at the time. It was definitely a learning curve for our tight ends. Phil has high expectations. He sees great things in every one of our receivers and tight ends, whoever he's throwing to. But he's going to demand excellence, and he's going to demand what he expects. So it was a learning curve as far as that goes. Spencer probably, took it the easiest because he had done it before. He had seen it already. But our young guys really came through, and I think Phil really got comfortable throwing them specific tight end type of routes as the spring progressed. Tommy Birmingham and Charlie Gordonier really did a great job of separating themselves and being really, really good pass threats for our offense. This is a tight end friendly offense, and I think Phil knows that, and Phil is able to get the ball to our tight ends. No matter who it is. Obviously, we have some big shoes to fill with Hunter, but our guys have been doing a really good job, and Phil's chemistry with them has really improved as the spring went on.
And we'll wrap things up for Steve with Rich.
Hey, when you have stretch the field receivers like Zay Flowers, Kobe White, and Jelani on the perimeter, how does that make the tight end more viable in Phil's progressions on a play?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's no secret that we're a run action team, and we've pushed the ball down the field. Zay had a great year, and those other guys that you mentioned, they're gonna have another great year and keep building that chemistry with Phil, as we talked about with the tight ends. I think the tight ends being able to both pass protect, and then whether it's some type of movement and where we're in the flat, or some type of short route where we're the second progression. As long as we're consistent, we got that big body, and we're able to create some separation, I think Phil's always going to be comfortable taking the checkdowns, which allows us to be a little bit more aggressive and continue to call shots down the field so that we can stay ahead of the sticks when he checks it down to the tight ends. I think anytime you get a guy that doesn't move quite as fast as the receivers and also aren't as small as them, it's a way friendlier target. So to have those guys like Spencer and Joey underneath there, big targets that maybe aren't moving at 4.4 speed like Zay, it helps Phil find those guys and be able to put it on them as his second progression.
Also true in the red zone. I mean, Hunter was targeted a lot in the end zone. Is that the big target you're talking about?
Oh yeah. I mean, Hunter was so great because he had great body control and great size, where who are you going to put on him? A DB? Well, he's not going to be big enough. You're going to put on a linebacker on him? Well, he's not going to be fast enough. You're going to try and zone. Phil does a great job of finding the voids in zone. So, just those big bodies that can have good body control. Phil just feels comfortable, man. We go up, even like big receivers like CJ Lewis and Taji, they do a great job of using their size to their advantage, and Phil really feels comfortable throwing to those big guys that can go up and get it. Obviously, you saw last year he likes throwing to the little fast guys like Zay as well, but it's a comfort when you know that your guy is bigger than the defender covering them at times, like in the red zone when everything's a little bit quicker and the gaps are a little bit smaller.
Steve, thank you very much for all your time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much.